everyone, I'm Taylor Hudak with Activism Munich, bringing you another Julian Assange case update. Just 2 days after Judge Vanessa Baraitser ruled against U.S. extradition, a decision that finally instilled much hope, Wednesday's bail hearing ended quite differently. In an unprecedented move by the judge, she denied Assange's bail application. Her decision contradicts her previous ruling made just 2 days prior that ordered for Assange to be discharged.
A great disappointment to get this decision now from Judge Baraitser not to release Julian Assange on bail. We think it's unjust and unfair and illogical as such.
The judge's ruling against extradition was partly based on Assange's poor mental health, which is only exacerbated by his imprisonment in Belmarsh. During the hearing, the defense noted that one of their expert witnesses, Professor Koppelman, stated to the court that having access to his family is essential to his well-being. However, visits in Belmarsh have stopped due to COVID lockdown restrictions, and Assange has not seen his family in person since March of 2020.
This is a huge disappointment. Julian should not be in Belmarsh Prison in the first place.
Belmarsh has reported a surge in COVID cases. Edward Fitzgerald for the defense stated that Assange is at a lesser risk of contracting the virus if living sheltered with his family. However, the judge ruled that Belmarsh was adequately managing the spread of COVID and that Assange's health is being taken care of in the prison. However, Reporters Without Borders, which has been monitoring the case, had a much different perspective.
We disagree on all of these points. He is clearly at risk. The mental health issues that we heard outlined in detail in Monday's decision and indeed in the evidence that was given by medical experts in September is alarming. This is a very vulnerable individual.
In addition, the judge sided with the prosecution's argument that Assange is likely to abscond and not attend the appeal if on bail because he has absconded in the past. However, the judge failed to recognize that at that time Assange was given asylum. The defense also argued that the conditions that applied at that time no longer apply today and that there is no longer a motive to abscond. For example, not only has the judge ruled against extradition, but Assange is safest in England and has the protections of the rule of law, including the High Court and European Court. Additionally, if on bail, Assange would be reunited with his family, and that would anchor him to UK soil. The defense also stated that Assange was willing to wear a GPS tracking device as part of the terms of his house arrest. And historically, with the cases of Lori Love and Gary McKinnon, two UK citizens who faced extradition to the US, they were each granted bail and able to properly prepare their case. This makes the judge's bail decision unusual and particularly cruel. This controversial ruling did not come without scrutiny from NGO observers and public figures.
This was a very disappointing decision by the judge. She couldn't seem to get her head around the consequences of her own decision to quash the extradition proceedings on Monday. Once that's happened, the UK becomes the safest place in the world for Julian Assange. If he were to go to any other country, the United States could begin new extradition proceedings. In this country, he's got a court decision that he shouldn't be extradited, okay, has to defend that at appeal, but this is the one place where the United States can no longer get their hands on him. So he's not going to go to any other country.
Reporters Without Borders condemns this decision taken today, which we view as unnecessarily cruel. This court can't undo the past 10 years of hell that Julian Assange has had to endure, but they could have made it right going forward. We fully believe that Julian Assange was targeted for his contributions to journalism. The past 10 years, he has suffered only because of publishing information in the public interest. He shouldn't have to spend another moment unjustly deprived of his liberty.
And Australian MP Andrew Wilkie calls the denial of bail unfathomable, cruel, and entirely unnecessary. Wilkie and Amnesty International call on Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison to contact President Trump and Joe Biden and to ask them to drop the charges against Julian Assange. Now, there is more to the story of what happened on Wednesday outside the courthouse. As usual, peaceful protesters gathered to demonstrate their support for Assange and the free press. And due to COVID-19 restrictions, protesting in the UK has become more difficult, and the police are seeking to enforce measures by any means necessary. Eric Levy is a 92-year-old Free Assange protester and lifelong anti-war activist. Eric attends each demonstration for Julian Assange and was outside the courthouse every single day during the extradition hearings. And on Wednesday, it was no different. But shockingly, the Metropolitan Police arrested Eric, a 92-year-old man, and forced him off the premise.
They're gonna kill him! They're not gonna kill him. We're back. Look what they're doing to him. He's 92 years old. This isn't right. They're supposed to protect us. They're harming a 92-year-old man. Shame on you!
The public was outraged by the Met Police's inhumanity and cruelty. Eric was taken home, and thankfully he is okay. It's also worth noting that 7 other protesters were arrested outside the courthouse. Unfortunately, for right now, not much has changed for Julian Assange, and he remains a remand prisoner at Belmarsh. And being held in detention to appease U.S. interests makes him a political prisoner. He should have been granted his freedom on Wednesday, and the defense is expected to appeal the bail decision. The judge herself says this is not over, so now, more than ever, the public needs to call for the charges to be dropped, for a pardon, and for the U.S. not to appeal the extradition decision. Julian Assange's fate could be improved by the actions you choose to take today and in the future. To get involved, visit don'textraditeassange.com and AssangeDefense.org. This fight must continue. If you appreciate this coverage and analysis, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and donate so we can continue with our independent journalism. I'm Taylor Hudak with Activism Munich, and thank you all for watching.